So I might get some hate for this. It might be an unpopular opinion, but tips should absolutely be taxed. Or at the very least, if we're going to reassess the income tax structure and alleviate the tax burden on lower and middle income workers, we shouldn't arbitrarily land on just getting rid of taxes on tips as the solution. And the reason I say this is it doesn't make sense to me that a bartender making $60,000 a year would not pay taxes on their income, but a paramedic making $40,000 a year would pay taxes on their income. So we can imagine a scenario where some bartender slings vodka tonics down some alcoholic's throat all evening and doesn't have to pay any income tax, but the paramedic that has to come and help the family that alcoholic drove into on the freeway, that paramedic does have to pay income tax. And that just doesn't make much sense to me. Bartenders and waiters, I don't see these as just like heroes of society whose income should be free from the burden of taxation. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. Now, in case you haven't been watching, this is in reference to a few months ago, Donald Trump came out and said that one of his campaign promises was going to be to get rid of income tax on tips. And Kamala Harris just the other day, I guess seeing that she's been, this has hurt her in the polls, has come out with a similar idea that she's going to get rid of taxes on tips. And I don't care if it's the Democrat or the Republican, if it's Trump or Harris, I am against this. Now, like I said, if we're going to have some kind of solution for alleviating the tax burden on low-income and middle-income workers, it should be an across-the-board thing. It shouldn't just be bartenders and wait staff or anyone else who gets taxes on their tips. It should be maybe something like setting a threshold of income and saying no income below that threshold gets taxed. 35, 40,000 a year, I don't know what it would be. But to just come out and just arbitrarily say, yeah, if you make your income from tips, you don't have to pay taxes on that. It's absurd to me. I mean, you're a bartender, you don't have to pay taxes, but if you're a school bus driver or a paramedic or a teacher or police officer or firefighter or member of the military or whatever, you do have to pay income taxes. But not if you're a precious bartender. Like, absurd.